The bell and the wood thrush call us together in covenant, to awaken us from forgetfulness, that we may learn how to live in harmony and community. Today, let us especially remember our covenant to affirm and promote the sixth principle, the goal of world community, with peace, liberty, and justice for all.
I know this rose will open. Oh, and Mary too, thank you.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know my soul will burn away. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Morning, everyone. On the sixth Sunday of the season, we dedicate our chalice to the sixth principle of our faith, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Please join with me in the chalice lighting words from Dag Hammarskjöld in your order of service and on the screen. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, to give back.
Good morning. Welcome to Community Unitarian Universalist. I'm Reverend Meredith Garman, minister of this congregation at White Plains, New York, on land formerly of the Lenape Nation.
And I'm Joe Gonzalez, a longtime friend of this congregation and a Unitarian Universalist pagan.
The mission of our congregation is to nurture each other in our spiritual journeys, foster compassion and understanding within and beyond our community, and engage in service to transform ourselves and our world.
And our vision is that our congregation will be a welcoming sanctuary without walls that promotes diversity, fellowship, spiritual growth, and inspiration while committing to people and the planet through social action and service. Here we affirm four simple truths. It's a blessing you were born, it matters what you do, your experience of the divine is true, and
You don't have to go it alone. Today is the sixth full Sunday of spring. The new moon began yesterday afternoon, and the flower moon is now a thin silver waxing crescent. And here's Raquel, our youth ministry intern. Use that mic.
I am so sorry, a little incident with the train. On the Islamic calendar, Ramadan ends at sundown tonight when Eid al-Fitr begins. Eid al-Fitr is a festival of breaking the fast when after a month of fasting from sunup to sundown, it is forbidden not to eat.
And on the pagan calendar today, May 1st, is Beltane, the cross-quarters holy day at the midpoint between the vernal equinox and the summer solstice.
As we enter the second half of spring, the days are still getting longer, but the amount longer they get each day is slowing down.
And Mother Nature is still messing with us. There's still some cold days, but we're getting there. A special welcome to our visitors. We are honored to have you with us. If you're new here today and here in our sanctuary, we invite you to wave a hand so that we may recognize you and welcome you. If you are new here today online, then please do introduce yourself in the chat. Those online may find a link to the order of service on our website at cuucwp.org.
For our invocation, Tra-la, it's May, sings Julie Andrews in the film of Lerner and Loewe's Camelot. That lovely month when everyone goes blissfully astray. It's May, that darling month when everyone throws self-control away. It's time to do a wretched thing or two and try to make each precious day one you'll always rue. The time for every frivolous whim, proper or im, when all the world is brimming with fun, wholesome or un. It's wild, it's gay, a blot in every way. Those dreary vows everyone takes, everyone breaks, everyone makes divine mistakes, the lusty month of May. The spirit of the song is delightful and irrepressible, and I am particularly taken by that phrase, divine mistakes. What mistakes have you ever made that were divine? Maybe in some way they all were. I can't really urge you to entirely throw away all self-control, but maybe on such a glorious May Day as this, a little bit of loosening up wouldn't be such a bad thing. Please join now in singing our sung invocation, Spirit of Truth.
Spirit of truth that dwellest in the mountain, descend, we pray thee, to the marts of earth. Give us to hear the rustle of thy garment. Grant us to feel thy shadow near. So may we find the strength to stand face forward, courage to walk toward the dawning day.
Please stand as you are willing and able. You may have noticed that I was a little confused already, going back and forth, sitting down when I shouldn't have, so this is our time to get centered and get a little present here and focused. In times past, it was believed that the human soul shared characteristics with all things divine. It is this belief which assigned virtues to the cardinal directions, north, east, south, and west. It is in this tradition that a blessing is offered in support of this ceremony. Let us now call the directions and create our sacred spiritual circle. As we do so, I will symbolically cut off our circle from the physical world and create a sacred space where only light and love may enter. We raise this circle weaving a web of Beltane power, circle of death, circle of birth, circle of Mother Earth, shining, forever spinning, ending never. We will move clockwise, beginning facing in the north. I invite and invoke the element of earth this joyous May day. The ice and snow has melted, the seeds of life are planted. From mother's womb, life is reborn. The grass grows green and the flowers, they will bloom. We welcome the spring, we rejoice in the sun's warm rays. Come forth, element of earth, and show us your power, so mote it be.
I invite and invoke the element of air on this joyous May day. The breath of life will gently blow and awaken all things anew. 'Tis from thy goddess's womb we hear newborn's first cries. A mother looks with longing eyes. Gentle breeze and blowing wind, we call upon you once again. Come forth, element of air, and show us your power, so mote it be.
We face the south. I invite and invoke the element of fire this joyous May day. Solar power, hear our call. Warmth and sun is Earth's desire. It is you that will bring life and strength to crops and trees, and plants growing ever higher. We welcome the warmth, we welcome the passion. Come forth, element of fire, and show us your power. So mote it be. And finally, we face the west.
West, I invite and invoke the element of water on this joyous May day. Gentle rain, May's first dew, oceans and lakes, we call to you. You nourish our bodies, our crops and our trees, and from our tears our spirit is free. Come wash away all things old and cleanse our minds so that they unfold to harmony and peace once again. A fresh new life will begin. Come forth, element of water, and show us your power, so mote it be.
Our circle is cast. Blessed be. Please be seated.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Thank you. Please
While you're all
be seated.
standing,
Oh.
please turn and extend wishes for peace of the season to those around you. Oh, just traffic. Just traffic. Traffic happens. So won't it be? A couple of segments for our congregation. First from Lane Cobb.
Thank you, Reverend Garment. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Lane Cobb. I am Jim and Mary's daughter, and many of you know that I was raised in this church. It's so good to see you all, and I'm sorry, can I do this? Because I don't want to be behind here. I really need to look at you guys, okay?
You can also use the pulpit.
I can?
Yeah, feel free to use the pulpit.
Wow. You don't get that invitation every day. I'm taking it. Okay, all righty. So I just, many of you know that I co-host a weekly Zoom conversation about race and racism called Race Talk Revolution. And this afternoon, I have the honor of leading a conversation right here starting at 11:45. We'll be together for 2 really quick hours. I promise it's going to go so fast. And we hope that you'll come. If it interests you, it's called What's Race Got to Do with It? It's about creating safe spaces for interracial worship. And we're going to talk a little bit about what you're looking for, what you might be bumping up against, and help you maybe start to look at some solutions for inviting more people of color into your congregation. So we hope that you'll join us, and I'm just so pleased to have this honor this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And our share of the plate for May is going to Murray Grove Retreat Center, and we have a video about that.
My name is Carol Haig. I've been connected with the Murray Grove Association for a couple of decades now. And it is my pleasure to bring greetings to all of you in the Community Unitarian Universalist Congregation at White Plains from all of us at Murray Grove. We loved getting to know youth and advisors from your congregation at the Coming of Age retreat last year, designed and led by your own Tracy Brenneman. Your children have loved camping in the Grove for the past 6 years, and we're hugely grateful for your congregation's generous donations from almost every year since 2014. You are on our honor list of congregations, an Olympia Brown donor. So why might you want to donate to Murray Grove this year again? First, its heritage. Murray Grove is where the first Universalist sermon was preached in North America. It's the only UU retreat center located on a site where our UU faith began. We celebrated the sesquicentennial, 250 years of Universalism last year, in spite of the pandemic. Second, its mission. Going forward, Murray Grove lives out the Universalist faith that everyone is included. Murray Grove is a catalyst for social justice in our time. It is where drum began. It's where Black artists celebrate. It's where college students have learned how to help their colleges invest in justice. And it is where UU Faith Action New Jersey plans its strategy to increase justice in New Jersey. And third, its offerings to you. During the pandemic, Murray Grove has been making major improvements to the site: air conditioning in all rooms, repair of the swimming pool, new bathrooms in both guest houses, and a spiffy campground in the woods. We welcome congregational retreats, family vacations, and teams and task forces working to bring more social justice to our country. Your Share the Plate today will make it possible for Murray Grove to continue to bring love and to grow justice. Thank you.
Seminar. And now here's our UU Minute, number 85, George de Benville, Part 2. After his last-minute reprieve from execution, George de Benville, still just 20 years old, moved to Germany for the next 18 years, studying medicine along with doing preaching tours through Germany and Holland. Toward the end of this period of German residence, when he had been treating patients as a doctor for about a year, he himself fell very ill. In a high fever, he felt himself die and his spirit depart from his body. He was escorted through heaven and then purgatory. As he later wrote, "I took it so to heart that I believed my happiness would be incomplete while one creature remained miserable." One of his escorts assured him that all creatures would be restored to happiness without exception. When he awoke, he was in a coffin, having been declared dead 42 hours before. He sat up to speak, and flabbergasted mourners helped him out of the coffin. He returned to life with a renewed mission to preach the universal and everlasting gospel of boundless, universal love for the entire human race. The next year, 1741, when de Benville was 38, he sailed for America to bring the Universalist gospel to this country. De Benville settled in Ole, Pennsylvania, where he worked as a physician and apothecary while also continuing his Universalist preaching. Thus, he lived and worked, married and raised a family for 52 more years until his death in 1793 at age almost 90. Honor the ocean of love became his signature slogan. Though he was not a settled minister or the founder of churches, George de Benville is often called the first preacher of Universalism in America, and he was an important early influence on its development. World community of peace, liberty, and justice for all begins in our hearts, in our homes, and in this, our congregation, as a place of peacemaking, fairness, and a free free religion. We're a people of faith called to build peace and justice, understanding that violence is any thought, word, or deed that treats a being like an object or diminishes a being's sense of value or security. We are called to the work of ending violence. Our congregation guides us in cultivating inner peace and the skills of compassion. The love and commitment we show each other here waters the tree of peace, liberty, and justice for everyone, everywhere. And from the resources we have then, let us offer a portion to maintain and build this congregation. Today's offertory music is our choir with Turn the World Around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the
Listen to the words of the Great Mother, who of old was called Artemis, Astarte, Aphrodite, Diana, Brigid, and by many other names. Hear the words of the star goddess, the dust of whose feet are hosts of heaven, whose body encircles the universe. I, who am beauty of the green earth, and the white moon among the stars, and the mystery of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come on to me. For I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that the seeking and yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. For it is that which you seek, you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire.
I will now lead us through our guided meditation for Beltane. In doing so, I ask you to get comfortable in your chairs, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and relax completely. With your inner eye, see a dim green valley of infinite beauty and peace, where no tree or plant has ever felt the bite of axe or knife, and no creature has ever known death from predator's claw or hunter's arrow. Here stands a grove of huge trees that soar skyward, like pillars of a vast natural temple, whose dome is of many shades of green and coppery red. Beneath your feet, the ground is carpeted with a rich emerald moss. The air is fresh and fragrant with the scent of growing things, and the air resounds with bird song high up in the leafy canopy. Although you see no creatures here, you get the feeling of being watched by many pairs of eyes from holes in the trunks and shadowy roots of the trees. Then, barely perceptible at first, beings emerge from the shadows as if the dim green light itself has taken form. Animals of the wild, badgers, foxes, bears, and deer, and many other forest creatures, great and small, and other beings that seem to step out of the trees themselves, dryads and elven creatures all in green, tall and slender, with almond-shaped eyes and long, silky hair that move noiselessly like sunlight over the forest floor. Woodwives and moss women, old and bent, with green skin like lichen, gnomes with bark-like skin, gnarled and knotty as tree roots. They do not seem to have noticed you, for they are all turning in the direction where someone is approaching. A lady of great beauty, with a radiant countenance and long coppery gold hair which trails down behind and all around her. Wherever it touches the mossy ground, red and white thornless roses spring forth. In one hand, she holds aloft a shining emerald stone like a lamp, which suffuses the forest grove with a warm green gold light. She is the queen of Affirming, the goddess Venus, knowledge of joy. All beauty and harmony are hers. And as she walks, she sings the worlds into being, for her song is a song of love that is the purest creative force in the cosmos. You are so overcome by her wordless song and wish for nothing more than to bask in the streams of love and harmony and joy that she pours forth in song. The beauty of her song fills you with heartbreaking pain for all you have suffered in this and many other lifetimes. Seeing this, the lady reaches down to you and touches the pain in your heart, which takes the form of a symbol. Take a brief moment of silence and visualize this symbol in your heart, known only to you. Now, bring this symbol out of yourself and hold it in your hands as an offering to the goddess. She sings over this symbol and fills it with light, which transforms your pain into pure love. The symbol changes into a flower. Note well what it looks like. She places this flower in your heart. You feel yourself strengthened and renewed. The pain begins to subside and then totally disappears. You begin to breathe deeply. Feel pure, unconditional love flowing through you. As you continue to breathe deeply, a great sense of calm and inner peace washes over you. Now, with each breath you take, you feel your heart expand as you open to receive more life force than you have ever allowed yourself before. The creative energy of the universe flows through you unchecked, and you realize with delight that this stream of life that runs through your veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through dust of the earth in numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and in flow. You see without any doubt that separation is an illusion, for everything now appears as it truly is, an endlessly diverse patterning of rainbow colors refracted from the one light of the original energy of creation. And you too are part of this extraordinary dance of energy, movement, color, and sound that coalesces into the infinitely marvelous natural forms of the physical plane. So, what will you create? What aspect of the life force fills your heart and soul with the deep desire to become itself in the world of expression? What project can you put in hand right now so that it will flourish and prosper? What change can you make in your life to bring yourself to the next level of being? Will you bring it to birth, or simply let it die and return to the universe, knowing that with each little death, the life force will recede and seek another more willing to carry it through to its full being, while you become less and less alive? Or will you choose to live your dreams and desires to the fullest, no matter what, in service to life itself? What will you choose? As you are ready, take a few deep breaths and return your consciousness to reality and become present once again with your surroundings. Open your eyes to signal that you are here and ready to continue with our ritual.
As a faith community, we hold each other in our thoughts and in our hearts. And our video practice of the week is eco-spiritual for the month of May. It's Across the Wide Universe. It's time again for our eco-spiritual practice for this month, brought to you by Community UU's Environmental Practices Social Justice Team. Across the Wide Universe. It all began with the great radiance, the primordial flaring forth, the Big Bang. Our planet, sun, and solar system and the rest of what's out there are all connected by coming from that origin. Ultimately, not only are we kin to every living thing that shares our Earth, we are also kin to nebula, star clusters, and galaxies. Brian Swim writes, "There was no place in the universe that was separate from the originating power of the universe. Each thing of the universe had its very roots in this realm. Even space-time itself was a tossing, churning, foaming out of the original reality, instant by instant. Each of the sextillion particles that foamed into existence had its root in this quantum vacuum, this originating reality. It is beyond our comprehension, the vastness of it all and our own insignificance. This immensity and its unity can help us recapture the wonder that gets lost in our technological age. Wide-eyed awe is our birthright as conscious beings. Each of us is a part of something much, much bigger than ourselves. Eco-spiritual practices for this month include some time gazing into a night sky, investigating photos of deep space, and a drop in the ocean exercise. For the details on these, as well as group activities for your eco-spiritual group, see the post at cucmatters.org. The link is in your eCommunitarian.
One, two, three.
Worship the heroes, your martyrs and saints. Someone to help you throw off the restraints. To answer the question, who's to blame? Follow your leaders wherever they go. Sing their songs of praise. So many willing to help them fan the flames. Silence the teachers, imprison the wise. Arm all your children and close all your eyes. Plaster your picture all over town. Kidnap some hostages, burn a few flags. Make the evening news. Tell everybody that God has chosen you. Light up the candles, load all your guns. Unleash your passion and let it be done. Fight for one book and make everyone read every page. Light up the candles, load all your guns. Call on your anger and blame everyone. Everyone's changing while everything's staying the same. How many times do we need to be used before we all stand up and simply refuse? We got the power to make a change. History shows the mistakes that we made time and time again. Why should we die because you refuse to bend? Light up the candles, load on your guns, unleash your passion and let it be done. Fight for one book and make everyone read every page. Light up the candles, load on your guns, call on your anger and blame everyone. Everyone's changing while everything's staying the same. Heaven knows the differences between us, so therefore color and rhyme. But there we go, marching off to prove that you're wrong and I'm always right. Light up the candles, put down your guns. Love doesn't happen until it's begun. Change what you can and let everyone do what they will. Light up the candles, put down your guns. Love doesn't happen until it's begun. God didn't put anybody on earth to be killed. So light up the candles, put down your guns. Love doesn't happen until it's begun. Hold on to life and let love make it follow its will.
Bill Champlin wrote that song in 1989. There's a statement on the Iraq War. It's just amazing how relevant it still is to events going on in our world today. So Beltane is one of the more fascinating pagan holidays to me, as far as I'm concerned. It's a celebration that encompasses so many different things. The casting off of darkness, fire, light, love, fertility, creation, and joy. And the celebrations of the tradition and the traditions of this holiday are just as varied. Dancing around the maypole is probably one of the more familiar to most of you. The pole and the flowered ring at the top represent the god and goddess. The many ribbons and the dance weaving them around the maypole represent the spiral of life and the union of God and goddess, the union of earth and sky. It was a popular time for hand fastings or pagan wedding ceremonies, as Beltane is the great wedding of the god and goddess. Hand fasting involves tying the hands of the couple together, which is where we get the term tying the knot, symbolizing their coming together, and then untying them to symbolize them staying together of their own free will. And it was a time for the Beltane need fire. All fires in a community, including those in each home, would be put out, and this special fire was lit toward the village center. This fire represented the sun, the nurturing light of the universe that was growing brighter with each longer day and interacting with the soil of the earth to bring to birth the flowers and leaves and the crops that would become the future harvest. Farmers would drive their cattle and animals through the need fire's smoke to protect them from disease and bring fertility. Individuals would jump over the fire to purify and cleanse themselves, and couples would do so as a symbol of their commitment to each other and to increase their chances of conceiving a child. Finally, each home would gather flame from the need fire and relight the one back at their homes. So this day is all about positivity, creation, and looking forward. The earth's vibrations are absolutely singing at this time of year. You can hear it with the birds chirping and animals scurrying everywhere. You can feel it as you walk through a park or garden and see all of the new growth. It's about this time when my youngest child, Austin, is taking the seeds that he planted in pots indoors a few weeks ago and planting them in his greenhouse outside, just like every typical 9-year-old does. He loves planting, and even more, he loves seeing the food he grows used in our dinner recipes. He plants, the food grows, and it sustains us. Much in the same way, we can harness the energy of Beltane and plant the seeds of our own growth. We're finally escaping the colder weather, going outdoors and becoming more active. Much like the flowers and crops, we are growing and regenerating. But we need to sustain that growth and sustain ourselves by evolving, trying new things, taking next steps. Otherwise, just like the plants that aren't cared for or given the proper water and sunlight, we too can stagnate and wither. So think now to the question that was asked during the meditation. What will you create? What project can you put in hand right now so that it will flourish and prosper? Or what change can you make in your life to bring yourself to the next level of being? Will you take this opportunity to plant the seeds of this change and nurture it along to make it manifest in your life? Or will you let it pass you by? Allow the universe to pass that energy along to another more willing and possibly miss an opportunity and perhaps be a little less alive. So if you are willing, I have a project for you, a personal ritual you can do based on whatever revealed itself to you during the meditation. Normally during ritual we have fewer people, so I normally would do this with all of you. There's too much energy in this room. So this is something I'd ask you to take home with you and do by yourself in a quiet room where you can focus on your own energy. I'll go through the ritual. It's very simple, but if you want me to send it to you over email, come see me after service and we will exchange contacts. So first, I want you to go home and write down the answer that came to you on a small piece of paper, the project or change that you will intend to manifest, and be specific. Add enough details to your request to create a vision of what you want to make manifest. If you wish, you can also write down the symbol or the flower that came to you during the meditation as well. When you're done, roll your paper up into a small scroll. Hold it between your hands, close your eyes, and for several minutes, charge it with your energy. Picture in your mind's eye how it will be when the project is finished or your desires have come true. Involve all of your senses in this. See the result come to fruition. Feel the emotions. Hear the sounds. Touch the people around you. What smells come into play? All of your senses. When you're finished, take this paper and burn it into ashes in a safe place, or tear it into small pieces. Then you can send the intention into the universe by merging them with nature. Bury them near a favorite tree or plant. Even an indoor potted plant will work. Drop them into a lake or river or down your sink if you don't live near one. You can even toss the ashes, not the paper, just the ashes, outside on your lawn and allow the winds of change to carry them away. Keep your intention in mind throughout the season and continue to allow it to manifest in your life. I wish you all much growth and many bright blessings.
Thank you, Joe. I don't know if the composer Fertility had Beltane in mind when he wrote his piece of The Love for May, but in 1876 he was engaged in a project of composing one piece for each month of the year for a St. Petersburg-based music journal. And he prefaces his piece for May, which he subtitles May Nights, with this bit of poetry.
I'm thinking, oh my God. Sorry. Is that better? I'm thinking about fire today. I'm thinking about the burn that fuels and comes with new growth. I'm thinking about the year that I have had. A friend of mine once compared getting a degree and being a spiritual leader to a tofu press. It squeezes you, and it is an intense process, but at the end, you are more you than ever. A lot of what does not serve you is gone. At the end of my second year out of 3 in my program, I can now see her wisdom. Growing is a lot like that. It hurts, and the sun that's fueling you can feel like it is burning, but you know that at the end, you will be your best self. Beltane is often associated with joy, with fertility and new beginnings and flowers. New beginnings are scary. They have endings before them, and those endings hurt, but wow, standing at the end of my second year was every moment worth it. This year has been a journey, from coming to this congregation a couple of weeks before Samhain to getting ready to leave now. It has been a year of growth for me, some of which has happened here, some in my clinical pastoral education reflection group, some with my friends and family, and a lot just spent reflecting with myself. I have been thoroughly tofu pressed, and the world isn't done pressing me yet. But tofu is definitely better post-pressing, and humans are definitely better to be around as they allow their outward selves to match their inward selves. Beltane is a holiday of joy, and I can, at the end of this year, acknowledge how important joy and fun are to my ministry and just to my everyday life. Give me flowers and sparkles and laughter. Give me the messiness of life mixed in with the beauty of tears. Let me see growth and rejoice in it. And I'd like to ask you to think of your own growth and what would make you feel like you've come out of the tofu press more yourself. What might you need to change for that to happen? What might you grow into during the journey? Thank you.
Please stand again as you are willing and able, please. We will now release the directions and rejoin our sacred space to the physical world. We will go counterclockwise this time, starting in the west.
Water, thank you for the healing that comes with this time, for the revitalization that you give us when we drink you, for reminding us that we too are a part of your cycle, for the renewal that you grant to all living things. Please stay with us in this space if you will. Please continue to guide and hold us. But if you must go, go as our friend.
We face the south. Sorry. Fire, thank you for the sunlight, for the warmth of summer and the spark of life that warmth ignites. Thank you for the bonfires with s'mores that we gather around. Thank you for the creativity that summer can bring. Please stay with us in this space if you will. Please continue to guide and hold us. But if you must go, go as our friend. We face the east.
Air, thank you for the new life that you give us as we breathe you in at this time. Thank you for your cooling breezes on warm summer days to come and the warm winds that you send us now. Please stay with us in this space if you will. Please continue to guide and hold us. But if you must go, go as our friend.
And finally, we face the north. Earth, thank you for the new growth all around us, for feeding us and the animal friends that live around. For the beauty of the flowers and the fragrance of the grass, we thank you. Please stay with us in this space if you will. Please continue to guide and hold us. But if you must go, go as our friend. Our circle is open, but forever unbroken. May the peace of the goddess be in our hearts forever. Merry meet, merry part, and may we always merry meet again.
And I invite you to join in our closing chant. either staying standing or seated, however you're most comfortable.
May the circle be open but unbroken. May the peace of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. May the circle be open but unbroken. May the peace of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. May the circle be open but unbroken. May the peace of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
As we extinguish our chalice here, we invite those of you at home to now extinguish your chalices. And everyone say with me the words in your order of service and on your screen. This beacon of peace, this torch of liberty, this fire of justice, we will take with us in our hearts, that it may light the way to world community for every child of this earth.
Words of benediction from Rabbi Tarfon. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief.
Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now.
You are not obligated to complete the work, neither are you free to abandon it.
Go in peace.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
And as we close this morning and enjoy our parting music, we would like to share a flower communion video that shares images of flowers from our congregants. And that is how we will close today's service. Thank you for joining us, and thanks to all of you online for joining us as well.